But that's the thing, is there is a confirmation bias, and this is kind of a thought experiment to see if that confirmation bias is false. Because
that's why, I wanted to list those, because no matter how beautiful you look, if you're... Somebody comment on my channel, number one rule of passing is don't be trans on social media, and they're right.
No, you're absolutely right. Alright, welcome back to the channel today, everyone. So I am here with ShapeShifter.
Hi.
We're here for a nice event here in Georgia, and we are going to... We talked about doing this on your channel, so we're going to react to old Maury shows. Because there's been so much talk online about you can always tell trans people, and so Maury did it in the 90s. You wouldn't be able to do this now because you would get canceled. But I think this is going to be interesting to watch. And you've never seen any of these before, have you?
No, I've never. I've seen Maury Povich show, but never the only trans representation I've seen was on Jerry Springer, never on Maury, because I thought Maury was just pregnancy test stuff.
Yeah. Well, because on Jerry Springer. Well, and then on Springer, it was like...
It would have worked out with the trans woman. Imagine if trans woman did a pregnancy test.
I'm pregnant. You're a man.
Was that meme with Leah Thomas? Where she's like, you're a man.
Oh, man. You're a man.
You know the meme I'm talking about? Leah Thomas is like this, and then there's a pregnancy test. And
well, you know what they would do now? They would do chromosome tests.
Really?
No, can you think about that?
Oh, right. Especially as there's
man or woman. Chromosome test says.
Oh my god. The test reveals.
You are a man.
And then Leah starts, or someone like starts drowning and crying, and like they did on Maury Povich, remember? When the results are revealed, people start like having hysterical.
Or and the boyfriend's running around. I told you.
Oh my god. When it comes to a 21-year-old, blah blah blah, you are a man. Imagine that could be a real trauma though for trans kids that are like growing up and stuff. Yeah. That are like only been raised as a gender they think they are, and then they're going to show like that, and it's like hard biology. Like that could be harsh.
It would. I mean, we're gonna get canceled just for joking about
that. This is for entertainment purposes only.
But yeah, so this is interesting because you could never have a show like this, I don't think, on TV today because you would get canceled for being transphobic. But
okay, let's go.
Let's jump into it.
I'm excited.
Okay.
Yeah, a man can be petite, but just her facial figures, I can just tell she's a woman.
That's a woman.
Ladies and gentlemen from Florida, please welcome Danielle.
That's trans.
The best part of being female is having men drop to their knees and beg for more.
I would guess trans on that too.
That's trans.
The voice, the face, it just looks very
Man or woman?
over the top.
Man.
Man? How can you tell?
Kind of like the jaw structure.
The jaw structure?
You can tell.
Gee, the jaw. I've never heard of that. You know, I've heard of Adam's apples, but I've never heard of jaw
You
structure.
can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who has a woman's jaw structure?
That's a man for it.
The one from Hawaii.
The one
and
from
the one in the
Hawaii.
gold.
And the one from the gold. They've seen everyone. Okay, we'll find out, ladies and gentlemen, from Canada.
This is so cringe. This is gold.
Right.
This is a Hawaiian one. Let's see.
The best part about being a woman is being soft like silk and sexy like satin.
Oh my god, that's a nightmare. Sexist nightmare.
Male.
And how do we know this?
Body language.
Oh, does that do
I
it?
would say it's male too.
What women up
Way
there
too
have
much to swing
female
the
body
hips.
language?
The one from Hawaii, second one.
Oh, really? You're really sure about that?
I'm positive.
What
Boy,
is
I
this?
wonder if
They think
if
that she's the actual woman because and both and they've all kind of said that too, right? And then another person said the one in the
I
gold.
think if logically that's probably gonna turn out to be a trans woman too.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's.
They're just assuming because she's short, but she's I guess partially Hawaiian's partially Asian.
Well, I don't know. Well,
ignorant,
Asians tend to pass more anyways.
Because of the height,
just
right?
height and features and stuff like that. I don't know. And actually, I mean, when you go to Thailand, that's what they always say.
We're not being racist right now, but
no, but like Thailand,
there's truth to it.
Thailand has had more trans people. I mean, they've always been known to have trans people. Like before, like trans became a thing. Remember, it was always like you go to Thailand
Boys,
or you go to the.
Started making lady boys jokes, right?
I mean, it was in The Hangover well before it was like
Pop culture.
Yeah.
Some of the most beautiful women you could ever imagine. And the twist here is, though, that some of our guests are really men. I mean, you would think we would know the difference. You think you can tell the difference? How about when they're wearing bathing suits? That's the telltale sign, right?
Telltale sign.
Let's find out. Here they
Obviously, they
are.
know nothing about talking.
First
Right?
up, here's Erica.
Maury Povich seems to be ugly. But that's not really bathing suit.
My best quality are my eyes because they can pierce your soul.
I don't know. He just looks masculine.
Shoulder blades.
Now
like-
that they're on a hunt, right?
Well, that's what it is. They're looking for.
The likelihood of them picking from the show standpoint and from like this game in particular, they'll be better off just saying that everyone is a man, and then if they turn out to be a woman, it's not a big deal. But if someone is is an actual man, they're like, no, that's definitely a woman, then they kind of lose, right?
Yeah.
So that's why they're gonna go ahead and clock everyone as a man, so there's less kind of damage control.
Well, but think about how that makes the women feel, like the actual women,
Right.
The actual women that are going through this. It's gonna be like, if they get clocked as a man, they're gonna be like, what? Like I look like a man. Pretty feminine shape in the last one.
Three of them look similar. I can't
My best
wait,
quality
what
is my
this?
honesty,
Did she just
and
walk?
that's no lie.
I'm so confused. Is she walking like 3 times? And
Come over here. Here, the guy's doing a little thing here. What is that?
That's the woman.
That's a woman?
Yes.
How can you tell?
Woman. It's a woman. Her breasts.
That's a woman.
breasts.
Tell by the breasts?
Oh yeah, you see the.
What do you think? I mean,
I'm at this point confused as well.
I know. I think
just see men everywhere.
I think that looks like a woman.
There has to be some kind of psychological explanation that's like tricked our mind now. I feel like they're all men,
Well,
except for maybe one
yeah.
or two, right?
Well, so this is one of the things that you see online a lot, right? Is people always say, "Oh, you don't pass," or "This person doesn't pass," but it's because they already know that person's trans. If you don't know that a person's trans, then you probably don't know. I mean,
Can we just acknowledge that the channel this was posted on is called Vintage Girls? Toddling out a chaser.
no, not at all.
Imagine people obsessing what trans women look like back in the days, like creating channel dedicated to collecting all the footage.
Yeah, that's funny. But that's the thing, is there is a confirmation bias, and this is kind of a thought experiment to see if
For
that
sure.
confirmation bias is false. Because
That's why, I wanted to live styles, because no matter how beautiful you look, if you're somebody comment on my channel, number 1 rule of passing is don't be trans on social media, and they're right.
No, you're absolutely right. Like, people all the time, when I say in real life, I'm always surprised that I pass, because I never think that I pass, probably because I live so much on social media.
Right.
But the thing is I've had so many negative reactions. People are like, no, people are just being nice to you. I'm like, no. They're not being nice, because when I tell them that I'm trans, they freak out. Like, I've had those experiences, like at bars with guys, like.
A lot of people don't understand when it comes to passability, a lot of it has to do with height.
Yeah.
And you're pretty short. Like,
Yeah.
no offense, but like, I guess that's a positive.
Well, and that's the
when it
other
comes
thing.
to- like, I'm very short too, so
Yeah.
the first thing people try to clock is your height.
No, you're right. That's the other thing. But then I always think that my voice makes me not pass. But then I talk to some women from other areas in the world and different places, and it's like, there's quite a few women that have more masculine voices anyways. And so that's one of the person that I'm like, I said that when she found out, I said, oh, I'm trans. And she goes, you're what? I was like, you didn't know? She's like, well, how would I? And I said, well, I never think my voice. And she goes, what'd she say? She goes, well, I have a pretty deep voice too. Like, people would think I'm trans because I have a more masculine voice. I'm like, It's a good point. So it's just online again. It's confirmation bias. I think a lot of times with people.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you.
Gorgeous. She's the one's really confusing everybody. She really shows her body completely, so it's quite confusing. It's almost like a Barbarella look.
Now, I mean, there's not a person in here that doesn't think Shiko is a woman. I mean, everybody thinks she's a woman.
She's very beautiful. They grow them gorgeous in Hawaii.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
And
here, Franny, come on out. Amy, come on out.
Yeah.
Amy's incredible. She's got this body that won't stop. And this crisscross look is a very hot sort of nightclub look, almost like the glamorous strippers of New York. Shows off everything. It's very pretty.
I mean, we have a tradition here in New York. It's called New York Black, but that's kind of a play on it. I mean, now it's hot and black.
Yeah, she's completely got a sexy S&M kind of look going. It's gorgeous.
Okay, here we go. Next is Amber. Amber, come on out.
Amber's wearing a very revealing gown. Once again, showing off the body. The sheer panel really gives all the curves that there are. She's got it all going on there.
Okay. And next, ladies and gentlemen, here is Vicky. Or rather, Nikki.
Oh yeah, Nikki is a beauty. Now Danielle is one of the beauties from Florida that's come up here, and she's wearing a classic sort of Miami evening wear, crossover bathing suit sort of
They're still into orange and gold down there, aren't they?
Oh yeah, it's the whole tropical feeling when you get to Miami. It's soft and flowing, and as well as her hair and her body is just gorgeous. It's got a very tropical, soft look.
Here is Judy, everybody.
Now Judy is giving you also
Here is Vicky, everybody.
Now Vicky's giving you, wow, there we go. Vicky's giving you a really outrageous nightclub look.
This is definitely transgender.
She's come up with.
It's a drag
look.
You definitely get into any club for free in New York.
See that picture up there? See that?
Yeah.
Right. Which one is it? Who is
Transition pictures?
Who is it? Who is it? You don't know, right? You have any idea? Who has an idea? What did you say? Stand right up. What did you say?
The skateboard, Diane?
Do you think that's Diane with a skateboard? You think Diane was a boy? Really? Who do you think?
I think it was the one in the orange.
In the orange right here?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, I also think that's orange.
Would the person in that picture please step forward? How about that?
That was brave to reveal your pictures, because they could have probably like styles back in those days, more or less.
Oh yeah, like I mean, that's the thing is all these people would live south in their normal lives. I mean, I don't think anybody would clock them anytime, but except for she's wearing
like ostrich outfit, green.
But not on every day.
That is so fashion forward. Green hair wasn't a thing up until recently, right? That's like very ahead of its time. Like, I have to commend. Like that look, even when it comes to drag and stuff, it's a very like modern look. This was way ahead of their time.
Well, that's the thing is,
is this person still around?
I don't know what happened. We need to do the follow up, right? Where are they now?
Unfortunately, a lot of them are probably not alive because, I mean, unfortunately for the community, back then a lot of people didn't make it due to lifestyle, HIV, like just
that's true.
Poor treatment in society, all that.
Well, and they. That's the other thing. It's disease and stuff. And I mean, they are probably older, and we don't know what hormones do. Onto your body, and so we don't know. Yeah. But yeah, it is funny because I think we've talked about before, like bring back the colored hair, because like stop making the colored hair like only belong to leftists, because it would be fun to have more colors.
I think right is slowly changing too. I see a lot of like right wing influencers just slowly like realizing that by being the super strict and rooted in old fashioned gender stereotypes, but also like traditional looks, they're kind of losing a little bit of a cultural war, and you can still be Christian and have blue hair.
Yeah.
I see so many tweets, this is what president looks like. That's so effed up. What does president look like? And so I'll use like Trump's picture. So you're saying woman can't be a president? But like, what are you saying?
No,
people are like, this is what he wore to vote. and somebody was wearing cargo shorts. I'm like, who cares? Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Well, and see, that's the thing is, I live more obviously in the libertarian space, and libertarians wear jeans and t-shirts like everywhere. You know, like candidates will wear like jeans with a blazer, and that's part of the thing is people are like, they don't even look like candidates. It's like, doesn't matter. Like their ideas are good.
This is so frustrating. Like I see that all the time in kind of far deep part of my echo chamber. Yeah. Like if my echo chamber is like this and I'm like right here somewhere, like deeper down, I see those tweets that are like pissing me off and they get a lot of likes and retweets. It's like people's ability to do their job and ability to deliver and be productive should not be dependent on the way they dress and look.
It shouldn't be dependent on any of that stuff. Right. It's really not. We see that a lot in the culture where it's like diversity hires. Like this entire administration is all diversity hires. Like when you look at Pete Buttigieg can't do his job, but the only reason why he was hired for the position was because he's gay.
Right.
You know, and they're you know, for lack of a better term, they're grooming him to run for president in the future.
I think grooming, I mean, the original meaning, like, slowly changing. Like, talking about, like, changing the meaning of words and how, like, in our echo chamber, it's like, words are important, and grooming means specific saying, but now it's changed because people use that now for everything. Yeah. Right? Won't you agree? Like,
oh, 100%.
It used to mean, like, straight up, like, you know, pedo. And now it's literally for anything. They'll use the word grooming.
Well, yeah, there was grooming meant two different things. The way that I just used it, meaning to kind of shape and mold somebody and kind of get people used to, almost to teach somebody something. Like I said, they're grooming him to run for president. They're getting his name out there in a way, and he's in a job that will lead him into higher positions. But then then it's the grooming aspect of if you're talking to a child or somebody who's underage and trying to get them to see you fondly so that when they become of age, then you're grooming them to wait for when they become of age. And so, but now you're right, and now it just means like anything.
Trying to change somebody's opinion is also grooming, pretty much at this point.
Yeah, I've seen so many people just take the definitions of grooming and just take it to be like, I've seen people say that simply being trans is grooming because just being openly trans and openly gender nonconforming, that you are living an ideology even though you speak against it. Like I've seen that a lot in certain spaces as well, and it's just not true.
See, they didn't even get you from your picture.
Sure, my mother's going to be laying on the floor right now.
Now, tell us about yourself.
My name's Vicki. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana. I work for a photographer. I'm a receptionist, and I'm an entertainer there as well at the Club Cabaret.
And you are a man.
I live as a woman now.
You live as a woman?
I've been living as a woman for 3 years.
Very good. Well, thank you very much.
What is that supposed to be?
Here's Erica.
See, is it dragphobia? Is it dragphobia?
I don't know, but even here, you see that was this was the start of trans women are women. She goes, I'm a woman. Like she said that, and I know.
Yeah, I'm living as a woman, I guess, because I'm cross-dressing full time.
Yeah. like now we define it. You know, trans women are trans women. We can go off of that, but.
Okay. Now we want the following 4 women to come forward: Danielle, Nikki, Erica, and Amber. Would you please walk forward? Okay.
These are women.
Here we go. I want to tell everybody right now.
Is there a woman?
I want to tell everybody right now that there is only one person here who was born female. Do you think you know?
They did that on purpose.
Which one? Nikki? Do you think that's Nikki? The one of our guests as she grew up a little boy. Who is this? Who is that? You think that's one in the red? You think that's one in the blue?
This is so humiliating. How much does it get paid for this?
Oh my gosh. That's the thing is I don't know.
This is so humiliating. To be honest, I'm like getting secondhand embarrassment for everyone.
Like I said, I think the most humiliating one is going to be the woman. She's got to be the most humiliated because everybody's not clocking her as the woman.
Blue, you think that's the one? Would the person please reveal themselves who's in that picture? Oh my Lord, there she is. Isn't that great? You look terrific.
Thank you.
Great.
I'm Danielle Hunter, and I'm from Orlando, Florida, and I work at Southern Nights.
There you go. Thank you very much, Danielle.
This is all like trying to get clean from.
Another one has
That's how it was back
then. Little boy. Who is this? The one in the gold, the one in the blue, the one in the black? The one in the blue? You think it's the one in the blue? Would the person in that photo please step forward? Oh.
Called it.
There were streets that looked very similar. They must have went to the same company.
That's Amber.
You can tell they're chicks.
And she grew up a boy. Right?
Look at it. That's why I'm like, why is she walking
I
again?
reside in Daytona Beach, Florida. I work at the barracks. So if you're ever on the world's most famous beach, come see my shot.
There you go. Thank you very much.
Why is it all trying to solicit?
Obviously, tell us about yourself because
is
we
this
now
free
know.
back page or something? Is that why they're soliciting?
I think so. I think it has to. Well, it was. It was pre-internet, so you have to remember.
So you're literally soliciting on national TV.
Actually, I wonder.
Wow.
Wow. I wonder when this was
filmed. Not much has changed. Now it's on Twitter.
Oh no. Oh, it doesn't tell. I was gonna say, when was this actually filmed? Like, when was the actual air date of this show? Because it was probably 94, 95.
Wow. They're like, if you're ever coming down to see me, what the
Maybe she's still there.
Oh my god, this is so cringe on so many levels. That's gonna be like probably a biological woman.
Oh yeah, butch lesbian.
Yeah, I only said there was one woman here that you were born a boy.
My name is Erica Andrews. I'm from San Antonio, Texas.
Oh my god, it's Erica Andrews?
Very good.
I saw it was Erica Andrews. She's like a very famous pageant girl.
We're down to 4 girls. When we come back, the remaining 6 girls are
that she passed away, yeah. From, I don't know what she passed away from.
Who is that? Green, brown, green, brown. Nobody's saying red, right? Green, brown, green, brown. Would the person in that photo please reveal themselves?
She was like, I got it.
Let's see where she works.
I am Amy DeMilo, beauty on a budget. I come from Tampa, Florida, where I work at the Pleasure Dome. Thank you.
Oh my god! This is a brothel? Like, I just don't get it. Is this a lineup for a brothel?
Actually, you know what this shows though, because this is
kind of embarrassing.
But this is what
makes me feel sad for our community.
But this is what we talked about before.
Part of community.
Because so often trans people and still are pushed into a certain lifestyle. The porn lifestyle, the adult industry lifestyle, because they historically have been very discriminated against, right? And so that's kind of what this shows.
Being sexualized a lot, you know.
Well, there's a lot of chasers out there.
Right.
She works at the Pleasure Dome.
Yeah, for everyone, all the chasers watching this, she may still be there.
Yeah.
Start tracking her down now.
She's probably in her 80s, but but it's also, again, that's one of the reasons why I think there's been so much issues of drug use and disease and stuff like that in the country, in the community, historically, because it's been kind of pushed off. And again, even gay rights there were no gay rights at this time.
But now
either.
people have options, but they still turn to sex work. And even the former trans kids are all now having OnlyFans and stuff. Or some of them.
That's just what we're seeing now is more of a societal thing, to where it's boys, girls, everybody. Like, biological girls are going
I get asked all the time if I have OnlyFans. You know, it's like, it became this cultural saying where it's like normal to, like, Blair says, bust it open online for everyone to see. Like, I don't know.
Oh no! You were positive! I mean, if I bet you $1 million, you tell me the difference between a man and a woman, you could do it. No, you can't. Yoshiko, you want to
no, you can't.
tell us who you are?
Hello, everyone. I'm Yoshiko. I'm from Hawaii. I'm a hairdresser by trade. And I also work as a showgirl with the Paper Doll Reviews and the Gender Benders. Thank you.
Very good. And guess what? The best ever of being completely confused. Thank you so much.
Come on, this was amazing.
Did they just say that? The best ever at being completely confused. Did you mean to say that everybody that was watching was completely confused, or that
I don't know
that she was completely confused?
What we're saying, like, because it's so quiet. So, oh my god, this was so good. The moral of the story you can't always tell, and it's kind of actually whenever you use absolute words like always, you're setting yourself up for. It's very rarely something is 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Even, for example, calico cats are usually female. They're not always female, right? You see a calico cat, most likely it's a female, but there's a small chance that it could be a male calico.
Yeah.
It's maybe a bad example.
But you're right. But it's like we talked about, kind of the thing that we talked about a little bit before was the confirmation bias that you get online. When somebody actually tells you that they're trans, then you're like, oh yeah, I can see it all along. I can see it completely.
People tell me my hands are big, and I'm like, what?
But that's why some
just imagining things.
I mean, personally, you see, and that's why like some of these things that they want to implement based off of looks will actually end up harming actual women as well.
Oh, so here we have it, and
but this is the other thing is everybody's like this. Nobody was trans until 2016. So have you ever seen that online? It's like, oh yeah, nobody like this wasn't like trans wasn't even a thing until 2016. It was like, no, they were doing Maury shows back in the early 90s about this stuff. I mean,
those feminine men have probably been bullied for being feminine, and they saw transition as an escape and ways to make money as a drag queen or as a sex worker. That's what they were all advertising more.
Well, that's the other thing.
Online brothel, televised on national TV. Let's face it, that's what it was.
Oh my! It was back page. It was
definitely back page.
Or like Craigslist before Craigslist was a thing. No, but you're right. So, but that's the thing is now the drag queen thing.
Surprisingly,
they look really good.
I mean, whatever they were pumped with or whatever surgeries they had, it looked. I wouldn't think that back then they could have achieved that look.
Well, because you wouldn't think that plastic surgery was as advanced, right?
Because some of it looked very good, but I'm sure they all paid the price later on if they put silicone and stuff in their body.
Oh yeah,
because that never ends well.
Yeah, what they were using at that time.
Then,
So, but it is interesting.
And Florida, come on.
Oh yeah, almost all of them were from Florida.
Right, they probably just like bust them over to the studio from the club.
What is interesting is now the one thing is drag was always gay men until recently.
Yeah.
Because if you back in
until they erased that definition too.
Remember they tried to cancel RuPaul back in 2020
when he tried
because he said. RuPaul said doing drag with is like taking performance enhancing drugs.
Yeah, if you're a trans woman doing
that. And then they tried to cancel him. Then he was forced to.
They quickly coronated trans woman.
Trans women were on Drag Race, and
the recent season was won by a trans woman, but traditional transsexuals would fight that hard because there's already so much confusion. They call trans women drag queens, or even just because drag queen is a cross-dresser pretty much. And trans women fought hard to distinguish themselves. Yeah. It's like, no, wait a minute, we can do drag, we can also RuPaul's Drag Race.
Well, that's exactly what it was, when I first came out, I never liked drag because that was the perception, and I came out in 2014, didn't transition until 2019 though, but that was always the perception of drag queen, of trans people was drag queens, and even cross-dressers at the time, that was the perception, was drag queens were what it was, and now it's basically come back. I had a point where I was like, okay, drag can be fun, drag can be cool, it doesn't create this perception anymore because trans people are more out there and open, and now it's back to the same thing. Now everybody confuses us with drag queens, and it's sad because we're not the same.
Yeah, I mean, but the problem is there were also some drag queens on RuPaul's Drag Race who had enhancements.
Yeah.
Whether it's pumping or plastic surgeries or like laser facial removal, and some of the drag queens had natural long hair too. So where is that line, you know?
And why are like the traditional gay men drag queens going along with it? It's just like trans women in women's sports. It's unfair.
They had one straight man like who was doing drag like 2 seasons ago, and it was like a big deal, and everybody was like surprised, like, oh, you're straight doing drag, and I'm like, so I obviously don't know the trans aspect of that. And there's plenty of bisexual and straight men that like to cross dress and transition.
Well, and now do trans men do drag?
Yeah, there was one Gottmik. He's friends with Gigi Gorgeous. He had top surgery and he was doing drag. He was actually the first.
Was he a drag?
He was
drag
doing drag
king?
No, he was doing drag. He was a drag queen. He was dressing as a woman, right? But outside of drag, he was just presenting more.
See, and that's kind of the same thing. Yeah, you have top surgery and stuff like that, but you still have the enhancements that you were born female, so you always kind of have that.
Yeah, he had more of a hippish, but I think he was padding too. There is a way for drag to survive and do better more as an art form versus female impersonation, and I do believe that the future of drag is going to be more. It's going to more and more evolve into more art forms and perpetuating sexist stereotype, you know?
Yeah.
At some point, just having a flat tuck and a sparkly bodysuit and whipping hair is just not going to be enough.
It's not.
It's going to be enough for chasers and whatnot, but like not for an actual drag performance.
Yeah.
Like,
I think a lot of time now, it's people aren't going to drag necessarily for the performance. They're going for to support the performers and show that their support for the community and stuff. And I think that's more what it is. But
well,
all right,
this was fun.
Yes, this was great. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for finding this video. I'm glad it came to fruition because we talked about this for a while.
Yeah, we talked about this back when I was on your channel, which I want to. Why don't you just tell everybody where they can go find you?
Well, I'm on YouTube as ShapeShifter and on Twitter as Shifter of Shapes and everywhere else as Shifter of Shapes.
Okay.
Shape. Sometimes it's plural, sometimes it's single. If you want to find me bad enough, you will.
Yeah. I'll put the link in the description. So
thank you so much for having me.
This was great. I'm glad we were able to do this. But again, thank you guys for joining this week. Click that like and subscribe button. Follow both of us across all social media platforms, and we will see you next time.